A shocking revelation out of DeKalb County. As many as 26 graves paved over in Decatur. And today, the county commission addressed the findings. CBS 46's Ashley Thompson spoke with the man who spearheaded the effort. And Ashley, he says people are finally starting to listen.
That's right, Rick. This man, now in his 70s, says his grandparents are buried in this area. He says their graves were paved over decades ago and says for so long, nobody cared. For 50 years, Deacon Fred Kinnamore has been fighting for the respect and dignity of loved ones who went before him.
Grandmother, grandfather.
His grandparents are buried at the St. Paul Baptist Church Cemetery near Fraser and Wilson. But he says their graves have long been paved over.
Well, it's just been a black and white issue.
Kinnamore says dozens of other graves were also paved over decades ago, and he believes racism is to blame, saying back in the day, white residents did not want a black church or a black cemetery in their neighborhood.
It's really heartbreaking.
His wife of 50 years saw the racism firsthand.
They didn't want the cemetery to be there. There's like dumping trash and stuff on it.
While Kinnamore's cries have long fallen on deaf ears, the county is now listening.
Number one, we owe Deacon Kinnamore an apology.
CEO Michael Thurman says last week, crews dug up part of Wilson Road and indeed discovered a burial site. Sonar suggests there could be up to 26 graves in the right-of-way or under the asphalt.
Clearly, we're convinced that DeKalb County played a role. It's an embarrassing moment in the history of our county. There was an intentional effort to force the church out of that community and African Americans during the early mid-1960s.
The county now has an action plan to try to make things right.
Our county attorney will file a petition in the Superior Court here in DeKalb County to get permission to actually open up the graves that we find, disinter the remains, and then work with the community and family members to find a decent, appropriate way to reinter them in another location.
Kinnamore, who's been fighting this battle for so long, says it's never too late to do the right thing.
What would I say? That we've still got to stand up and do what's right for people.
They need to get it resolved because, people that was buried there, like his grandparents, you really can't go and pay respects to the body because of that.
Really just heartbreaking. Now you'll notice there is a fence here. This was put up by a developer, and the county says it does not reflect the actual cemetery boundaries. Also want to show you these flowers here. As more people learn about this story, they're coming and visiting this site here, and one woman actually came and brought flowers. Now county officials, including CEO Michael Thurman, says Kinnamore should be celebrated for bringing this to light. Live in DeKalb County, I'm Ashley Thompson, CBS 46 News.
Ashley, thank you. Tonight, a